A lot of you tell me that you find hard to let your ex go. You can't seem to stop caring about what they think of you, who they're with. You dream about them. You seem to see their face in crowds. You want to get them back. You feel addicted to this person. In this video, I'll explain why that happens and how to move on from a breakup. You've got different inner sides struggling with each other. On the one hand, you've got the side that knows what would be best for you to move on and let go. And on the other hand, you have the side that feels your emotional attachment to your ex intensely and only wants to get back together with them. This is the side that's aching, craving, and longing for your ex. And that is natural considering how we're wired biologically to attach to other humans. To your brain, the safety of connection is a matter of life or death. So when you lose a significant other, to your brain, that's a life or death kind of emergency. So while you're trying to move on, your brain has sounded the alarm and activated your stress response to deal with what is an emergency situation to your biology. Anything to do with loss of attachment is an emergency to your brain and body. So your brain is ramping up your stress hormones to deal with that emergency. And to your brain, the solution is to reattach, to get your ex back. If losing attachment and connection means dying to your brain, the solution it'll push towards is reattaching, finding your lost love and bringing them back. And this happens no matter if you initiated the breakup or got broken up with. So that's what the stress hormones are for, to keep you hypervigilant and on the lookout for ways to reconnect. So this is why you can't stop thinking about them, why you dream about them, why you listen to hear their keys in the door, why it feels like you want to win them back, why you care about their every move, why you still want them to like and admire you, why you're obsessed with them. It's the psychobiological emergency state your mammalian brain has put you in after a loss of attachment. John Bowlby, who was one of the pioneers researching attachment and loss of attachment, calls this phase after losing a loved one the search for the lost object. That's what your biology is pushing you to do, to keep looking for your ex, to find them and bring them back. Neurobiologically, relationships are addictions. When you're in a relationship, your body produces endogenous opioids that make you feel good. And if that relationship is lost, your body stops producing these opioids and goes through opioid withdrawal. The intensity of that craving is compared to the intensity of withdrawal from heroin or morphine. So taken together, your opioid withdrawal and the stress hormones coming from your brain's search and rescue mission create this very strong longing for your ex and fantasies of getting back together. It's important you understand this so you don't draw false conclusions about what's going on that would hurt you. These are the types of conclusions that explain your withdrawal and hypervigilance incorrectly. The truth about your withdrawal and hypervigilance is that this is a completely natural psychobiological response in a mammalian brain after a loss of attachment. A false conclusion would be, I'm in this state because my ex is the one and only, the love of my life, special in a superhuman way, and I need to be with this person. That's why I feel like this. If this is the conclusion you go with, you'll weaken the side in you that knows you want and need to move on. To strengthen that side, remind yourself that these cravings and your current obsession with your ex is natural and that it'll decrease over time. Remind yourself that your ex is a normal human being and that there are many people on this planet you can potentially have a stable, happy, lasting, secure relationship with. So when you start ruminating again, when fantasies of your ex come back, when you start obsessing over why they don't love you anymore, what you did wrong, and what they're doing right now, see these thoughts as coming up in you like water that's evaporating in the heat of the sun. The water is your body's emergency stress response and withdrawal. And at some point, it'll all be evaporated and you'll be free of your ex again. You don't have to attribute any deeper meaning to these emerging thoughts, images, fantasies, dreams, and urges. Let them come up and drift by. This is completely natural when you're processing the loss of a meaningful relationship. Don't respond to these automatic thoughts in a way that makes your pain worse. That could be objecting to these thoughts and trying to stuff them away. It could also be attaching even more painful thoughts to an automatic thought that came up. So you turn it into a whole thought chain of painful thoughts. Thoughts people usually attach to. An automatic painful thought are thoughts like, I miss them so much. I wish I wasn't so unlovable. I'll never find someone like this again. I'll be alone forever. Instead of doing that, let an automatic image or thought come up and let it drift by without attaching more thoughts to it. You don't have to like your situation. You're in a terrible space. That's a fact. At the same time, you can decrease your pain by acknowledging your situation and your thoughts, and then stopping there, stopping with the acknowledgement, and not adding more pain onto it. Acknowledging, here's another thought about my ex. That's okay, mind. You're trying to process. Here's this thought again about reconnecting. I know where that's coming from. It's coming from my brain's search and rescue mission. And it makes sense that I'm having these thoughts right now, psychobiologically, but reconnecting isn't what's best for my situation right now. And after that acknowledgement, you redirect your focus onto other things. It's a gentle shift of your focus back onto your experience, values, the present moment, and what you're doing in that moment. This way, over time, you'll move on, and your body will shift from its current withdrawal and emergency state back into a calm state. It takes time. It takes willingness to go through this discomfort. It takes accepting that this is what it feels like after a breakup, and not adding anything on top of that, like, I feel like this because I'll never experience love again, or I'm unlovable or unworthy. Also, even after your emergency response and withdrawal have calmed down, your brain will still associate your ex with pain. Our brain does this so we can learn about what causes us pain and then avoid that. So even decades after your breakup or divorce, you might still feel a short wave and rush of stress hormones whenever you contact or interact with your ex. That's your brain's message to be careful around this person, so you can avoid going through this same kind of pain again. It doesn't have to be like that, but in case it is, I just also want you to know that that's a normal biological response and not a sign that there's something wrong with you, that you're flawed or somehow weak. It's just your brain's warning and reminder of a past painful experience. And while you're in the withdrawal and emergency state, your challenge is to go through it without acting on urges to reconnect if that's not what's best for you. Acknowledging that these are natural urges, but not a helpful guide. It does take work to do all these things I mentioned for as long as it takes for you to move on. It is work to deconstruct the easy but unhelpful and incorrect conclusion that your ex is somehow superhumanly special and you're not. It is work to remind yourself that you're not feeling this way because something's wrong with you for not being okay quickly enough, or that you need your ex back and that's why you feel this way. It is work to practice acknowledging unhelpful thoughts and urges and images and dreams and not adding a painful response to them. At the same time, your body and mind are also wired to process loss and to slowly shift into the next phase of your life. You can count on your biology to naturally move towards healing, and you can assist it by letting it do that without obstruction. All the best till next time. Take care. And remember, it's natural not to be over someone quickly, and you will prolong your grief, your pain, by fighting against that fact, being suspicious of yourself when something natural is happening, by acting on these urges to reconnect and getting back together only to regret it later, or by adding more thoughts and creating a thought chain of painful thoughts when an automatic thought comes up. And in that way, actively pining after your ex, or by turning this loss into your identity.